What does it take? Why is it easier for some people? Why can some people eat all they want and not gain a single pound? I used to say life is not fair. Was I put on this planet to suffer? Why? Why me?
It was hard to walk because the weight bothered my legs and my knees and my back.
It's very embarrassing not to be able to fit into a chair in an airplane. You know, people would look at me and say, oh no, is that man gonna sit next to me?
I couldn't sleep, I was getting up all night. My blood pressure was horrible.
I remember times that I was so depressed I wished I was dead anyway, as this big fat person walking around.
I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs to get into my house without being out of breath. I couldn't take my kids to the park. I couldn't keep up with them.
It just makes you depressed. It makes you sad. It makes you angry. It makes you eat more. It's a very lonely life being overweight.
My 4-year-old daughter called me fat. And the day she did that, that really hurt, and then I had to look at my life, and then I saw that, okay, well, I'm not going out as much as I used to, I don't see my friends, I go to work, I come home, and I wasn't living my life.
Nothing was working, and the thought of never having to diet again, never having to think about dieting again, really put me over the edge. That was what just made it click for me and say, you know what, I need to do this. I need to do this for me because I'm killing myself with food.
I was miserable with the way I looked. I was having some cardiac problems, some high blood pressure problems. My diabetes was getting worse, so I decided that I had to ultimately do something, and it had to be drastic.
I have no more sleep apnea. I can sleep soundly through the night, which is amazing too, because you don't realize how much sleep you're losing and how it affects you.
I am no longer diabetic, I am no longer hypertensive, and I no longer have cardiac problems.
When you do something to yourself and you see the results, I mean, dramatic results, it's just, words can't express how I feel.
You know when I notice? In pictures. Now I take more pictures. That's another thing. Before, I would never take pictures.
Everything is gone. The sleep apnea is totally gone. My blood pressure is normal. All the x-rays and everything that they did, they said I'm like a 24-year-old guy now.
Dr. Maida totally changed everything for me. I have a better life with my kids. I have a better life at work. I have more confidence. I just feel like I have a richer life. Everything is just so much better for me now. My self-confidence is up. I'm not afraid to talk to people. I'm not afraid to walk out of my door anymore. I'm not afraid to go shopping. I'm not afraid to see myself in a mirror. It's great. He really did change my life.
Every time I'm in his presence, he remembers my name, he remembers my situation, and he remembers my story. Not too many doctors do that, you know, and he's got tons of patience. Drew, how you doing? How's the family? How much weight are you down to? What are you able to eat right now? He remembers those things. He remembers me, doesn't remember I'm a chart. And that's what's special about him.
I liked him. I liked his mannerisms. He was just compassionate, you know, really felt for you when I was telling him things, and, you know, you could see it in his eyes. And I used him, you know, decided to go with him for surgery, and then after surgery, he's great. He still is great. All of the aftercare, answers all my questions, calls me back personally. That's what I really liked about him. He takes the time out to, you know, talk to me, talk to his patients.
He's like my hero. He's like a superhero. He needs that get a superhero costume like Spider-Man or something like that. And he is just so personable, and he's just, he makes you feel so comfortable too.
I'm a former nurse, and I spoke to the OR nurses. OR nurses know who the good surgeons are and who aren't, and they mentioned his name. He was the first one.
I chose Dr. Maida extremely carefully by researching practically every bariatric surgeon up and down the eastern seaboard.
I had my gallbladder taken out by another physician. This doctor said I was so heavy that he wouldn't be able to do it laparoscopically. And he referred me to Dr. Maida, and I went to his office in New Brunswick, and there was about 40 other patients in there. He spoke to us all at once and then brought us in one by one to explain our story to him. And I loved him right off the bat. He listened to every word I said, every pain I had, he knew about it. I told my wife when we left, that's the guy who's gonna change my life.
He was amazing. He answered all the questions. He did the presentation. Just looking at him, I said, this is exactly what I want. You know, just the way he is. I had a list of questions that I had asked him. I wish I would have saved them. He answered them like that. I said if he would hesitate or if he would look somewhere else as he's thinking about the questions, I wouldn't have gone with him. He was so secure about the answers and that I felt confident this is the guy. You know, met him 1 month, 2 months later, I had my surgery.
I called, went in and met with him. Within 3 weeks, he had me in for surgery.
He basically laid everything out and told me what to expect, the time frame that we're working with, and basically left it up to me in terms of how quickly or how much time I wanted to have the surgery done. You know, you can have this done in a month or you can have it done in 3 months.
I was researching and researching and researching. I was buying books, I was on the internet, talking to people who've had it before, meeting people, dining with them because I wanted to see how they were eating and, you know, are they really living after surgery? And I told my husband, it was almost 3 years later, that I want to do this. I think this is what's good for me.
As soon as I saw Dr. Maida down in the OR, I was confident. I was nervous going down the elevator. I was nervous I was waiting in the OR. When I saw him, for some reason it was gone.
He left no detail unturned, which is what I like about him. He's very thorough, but most of all, he's very understanding. It's not like, you know, well, another fat person walks in. It wasn't that way at all with him. He made you feel very comfortable.
His tone was very soothing and, you know, he touched my arm and he was like, you know, it's okay, don't worry, we're gonna be all right, we're gonna get through this real quickly. And, you know, that little bit of back and forth just completely calmed me down and I was fine after that.
It's like day and night. I mean, the clothes now that I can buy, I can shop in regular stores. I can shop in a mall. It's just tremendous, tremendous feeling.
It's the best decision I've ever made. Because without it, God only knows where I would be at right now.
My opinion regarding Dr. Maida as a gastric bypass surgeon is one, that he's superb, two, that he's focused on his patients and he's dedicated, and three, that he's an excellent technical and technological surgeon.
I'll walk by a mirror or a store window and I have to smile. You know, I can't believe it's me.
I'm so glad I did it. I wish I had the opportunity to do it earlier in life. I'm so happy I did it. And I'm so happy that it was with Dr. Maida.
I just have a new lease on life. I mean, I'm able to do things that I never thought I was gonna do. A year ago at this time, I thought I was gonna be bedridden. And now, I'm playing with my children again.
I'm in a size 8 now. Even at my thinnest point in my young adulthood, I was in a size 9. I've never been a size 8 before in my whole life. It's marvelous.
It's like someone gave me that fountain of youth and said, you know what, Tom? We're gonna make you 20 years younger. You can live your life over again, do all the things that you couldn't do the last 20 years. And I got another shot in life.
I've never met a doctor like him who's been so supportive and really staying on top of things. You know, you don't feel like you've had your surgery and got kicked to the door. I mean, he's had Christmas parties for us and picnics and everything.
The peak of my weight was 410 pounds. And now, 246 in that area. And I couldn't be happier.
I started out a size 32, 34, and now I'm a size 12. And the first time I got into a size 12 pants, I cried. I'm in the dressing room with my friend, my best friend, and I'm crying because I'm in clothes I haven't worn since, you know, junior high school.
I went from a size 26, and now at 10 months, I'm a size 12 and 13. And that's amazing. There's no diet out there. There's no fitness instructor, no gym, no powder, no shake that can do that.
It's like day and night. I mean, the clothes now that I can buy, I can shop in regular stores. I can shop in a mall. It's just tremendous, tremendous feeling.
It's the best decision I've ever made. Because without it, God only knows where I would be at right now.
I would tell anybody, if you're even remotely considering it, talk to anyone who's had the surgery, talk to the doctor. I can't tell you how wonderful they'll make you feel, and you will be so excited to have the surgery.
I'm living life for the first time in a long time.
I was always on some sort of diet, you know, and I'd lose 20 pounds and I'd gain it back. And I'd lose 30 pounds and I'd gain it. I've even lost 50 pounds and gained it back. Each time it got harder. Each time I'd lose less, but I'd gain back more.
I would, you know, go on diet pills. I'd lose 40, 50 pounds, and as soon as I went off of it, I gained that plus some back. So it was a real struggle for years.
I did the shakes, I did the powders, I did the pills, I did the doctors, I did the exercise, I did the programs. Thousands of dollars wasted.
I've tried just about every pill there is on the market, every fad diet, everything. I've tried it all.
A lot of people probably think that having the surgery is the easy way out now. I don't really care. I don't care what anybody else thinks. You know what? I was eating myself to death.
I tried every diet for 10 years and nothing worked. If someone says it's a cop-out, I say it's the only way out.
I walk past the mirror sometimes and I still have to take a double take and make sure that it's me. You know, I am not used to seeing me like this.
When I got dressed for the wedding, and he just looked at me and he told me how beautiful I looked and how sexy I looked, I just kind of lost it. Because he had, up until I had the surgery, I hadn't heard that for many, many, many years.
It is so worth it at the other end when you have come past that, that barrier, and you look back at your life and see what you were versus what you can be and what you are. There's no comparison.
It's like you unzip yourself and a new you comes out. That's just what it feels like.
Being able to be outside with my kids and, have a snowball fight and run around and play with them for an extended amount of time outside was great. I mean, I'm so touched now, I can cry thinking about it. It was just something I wasn't able to do before.
It's like day and night. I mean, the clothes now that I can buy, I can shop in regular stores. I can shop in a mall. It's just tremendous feeling.
It's the best decision I've ever made. Because without it, God only knows where I would be at right now.
I would tell anybody, if you're even remotely considering it, talk to anyone who's had the surgery, talk to the doctor. I can't tell you how wonderful they'll make you feel, and you will be so excited to have the surgery.
I'm living life for the first time in a long time.